All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. For those that don't know me, my name is Courtney. I have been with It Works for a year and a half now. I am by no means an expert on Instagram, but I'm just going to try to give you my tips and tricks as far as like what has been working for me and things like that. So me personally, the first thing I want to talk about is your name, both like your @ name and the actual name that it shows. The name that has the @ first, that's called your handle. You want to make sure that has nothing to do with rapping or It Works or anything like that. So you don't want it to be like Courtney Raps or Courtney Fit or like, well, Fit is kind of okay, but still people are questionable about it. But just kind of make it something that makes sense to you. So like if you ride horses, it can be like something with horses. Mine personally is just like C Wiziolo because my last name's insane. So you can do that. Just don't make anything that says It Works or Raps or Skinny Rap or anything like that. And then something that I found that was helping me when you go into edit your info on Instagram, I can kind of show you mine. Okay. Okay, so this is what Instagram looks like. Is it like the lighting's weird, isn't it? There we go. Okay. So if you go to your thing right there and then go to settings, is it backwards too? Okay, and then do you see where it says name right up top? And then how mine has like 2 dots and like Courtney's all spaced out. You want to make sure that looks kind of cute because that's what people are going to see when it says you followed them. It's going to show that name. So you want to make sure that it looks cute. Like if they go to your page, you don't want it to be like not cute. So put like an emoji, put spaces, put whatever. And then your bio, you want that to be short and sweet, but also look cute. So like kind of like with posts, you want it to all look good to look at. So mine, let's see if it'll work here. It's probably backwards, but I just have short little words with lines in between. Mine just says 22, Milwaukee born and raised, wanderlust, dreamer, believer. So just simple to the point. And again, there you don't want to say like It Works, Skinny Raps, anything like that. You can say like boss babe or business owner, entrepreneur, anything like that. But don't say like Skinny Raps, all of that, because people don't like it. Because they think you're only following them to like make money, which you want to be friends with them. Second thing, your profile picture, you want to make sure that A, you have a picture. B, you want to make sure that it's yourself. You don't want it to be some stock picture that you can Google. You don't want it to be just like a symbol of It Works logo, anything like that. Make it a picture of you that is visually appealing. And that is like a reflection of you. So if you like went skydiving once and you hated it, don't make that your profile picture because it's not going to make sense because you're going to be like, oh, she loves skydiving, and you don't. So thing like that. Mine is this picture of me sitting on a rock, like on a mountain in Colorado, and I love traveling. So that's kind of what I do. First thing, another thing for people that just got on, if you have questions, put them in the chat. And I will try to keep an eye on that and answer those as they go. And then the first thing, like who to follow. Like I know people always ask me like, oh, how do you like gain so many followers? How do you know who to follow? How do you find people to follow? I personally use the app Captivate. So it looks like that one right there. You click on that, it logs into your Instagram. What I use to find people, you can go to Discover. It's gonna look like right here on the bottom. And you can tap and hold on any Instagram. So I look for one that kind of looks like a normal person. So like here, this one, she looks semi-normal, okay? You don't want to go to someone that looks like they have like 30,000 million followers because some of them are gonna be robots, things like that. So like here, there's a picture of her with her baby or a video. You can go to the likes. That's one of the tips and tricks that I have. I always go to people that have liked their recent picture because that means that they're active on Instagram and not just like a ghost follower. So then what you can do on Captivate, you can kind of just like tap, 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 like all the way down. And then you just click actions. Where is it going? Okay, yeah.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Lindsay. So I want to make sure I'm following that because I have that Captivate app. So you go to Discover and then you click on a picture of someone that looks normal, and then you go to their like recent post and like you go to the likes on that, and that's you start following people from that.
Yep.
Because okay. I just want to make sure I was getting that.
Yeah.
Right, and I wasn't getting it. Okay.
Yep, that's what you do. So that's what
do you follow that person too that you click that picture or no?
Depending on their follower ratio, like if they have like 2 million followers and are following 500, no. If it's like semi-close, like 2,000 to 1,000, yes.
Okay.
And I usually try to find pictures that have like between 200 to 1,000 likes. I try to follow at least 100 people a day, personally. So you can just go to the like, you tap around, and then you just click actions, and then you can click follow right there. And what will pop up, it'll say start now or add to pending actions. What you can do, you can click start now. It'll follow up to 50, and then it'll add to your pending actions. And throughout the day, every hour, it'll send like a notification to your phone, and it'll follow 50 so you don't get blocked by Instagram. If you did update to iOS 11, there is an issue with it right now, so you have to use something called night mode to do the following. But if you uploaded it or if you downloaded iOS 11, message me, and I can kind of tell you how to work with that. But other ways to find people to follow, you can search a tag. So like, I'll show you. You can go on the Captivate app. Right next to the Discover, there's a search button. You can click that. And up top, you can see where it says Options. Click that, and then at the bottom, it'll show you either search users or search tags. So if you want to search a user like someone that is a fitness person or a fitness brand, or like a specific brand of makeup you like, or anything that you specifically like that makes sense to you, that you would post about. So like if you would never ever in your life post about a makeup look, don't go follow people that follow makeup, because they're going to be like, why are you following me? So something that's going to make sense. So then you can do that. Same thing, look at their most recent picture, look at the likes. If you go by tags, you can search things like whatever, vacation. And then it'll show like a bunch of hashtags. There you go, you can see it. A bunch of hashtags, and it'll show you how many posts there are. I'm sorry, I know this is backwards too, guys. And then it'll just show you a bunch of pictures with people that use that tag. And I do the same thing. I look for someone that had a bunch of likes. I follow them, and I go through their likes. Another way you can find people to follow is on the actual Instagram app. You have to go back and forth through apps for this one. But on the Instagram app, you can go to the search button, which is right next to home. And then up top, you can click search, and you'll click places, okay? So then like it isn't backwards? Whoever you are, I love you. That makes my life so much easier. I felt like I was confusing you. You can search anything. So like what I did yesterday personally, I looked up, Matthew and I are going to an apple farm, like a pumpkin patch thing this weekend. So I looked up people that were recently at a pumpkin patch, because I'm going to post pictures about it. They're going to like it. So I went there, and it's just going to show you on Instagram a bunch of pictures, same thing. If you want, you can just click on one, and you can just like, you can click follow, and then just like scroll through, follow. Don't do more than 50 at a time. Instagram will flag you and like look into your account. The other way you can do it is the same way. Like if you see someone, so like here, this person had 134 likes. You look at their name, go back to Captivate, search their user, and then you can do it that way so that the phone will do it for you, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. But that's what
question really quick. I feel like I forgot. And this is off topic, and maybe you're going to get to it at some point, but before I forget, is it like for us, do we want to try to make sure our ratio is like as even as possible, and if so, what do you feel like a good like ratio like is?
Okay, that was on like too down to do, but I can talk about it now. It makes sense.
Well, you can talk about it if it's on the list, because I don't want you to lose your spot. I just want to make sure I didn't forget, because that's something I always like wonder.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so the following to unfollowing ratio, you don't want to have the people that you're following more than that are following you. Okay, because it just looks, people don't like it. People like to be following people that other people follow and not that no one follows, if that makes sense. So like me personally, and you can follow me on Instagram if you want. I'm not that person. If you want to use a post of mine, just change the words a little bit, try to use a different picture, but I don't mind you following me. But don't be offended if I don't follow you back. I won't follow people that do It Works unless you're like a close friend of mine or an ambassador, which I follow like 3.
I'm sorry. I know I'm being really annoying.
No,
what did you say? You don't want to have more following than you are following?
You don't want to have more, you don't want to be following people than the people that follow you. So like personally, I have 2,039 followers and I'm following 900.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So you want the followers to always be bigger. And that is something that I've been working on very hard to do. I actually just hit 2,000 yesterday and I was like jacked. But yeah, so you want to be, your following should always be less than your followers, if that makes sense. Lindsay, can you nod your head if that makes sense? Okay, cool. So another thing, people always ask like, oh, how do I know if they follow me and I'm not following them, should I follow them back? The only people that I don't follow back, if they sell It Works or any other type of company, I won't follow them back. B, if they're male, I don't follow them back. I personally target women. That's just who I'm comfortable with. I don't follow kids. I don't follow teenagers. I follow women, like 20 to 50. That's what I do. And then if you go to their account and they have like one post and it's not within the past couple days, like it's not a recent account, I don't follow them back because they're probably like a robot or spam or something. But other than that, follow everybody back. Things like that. So then what
about if it's somebody and they have like 20,000 followers and they're only following like 2,000 people? Like say like bloggers or something. Like do you follow and say they start following you, like do you follow bloggers back like that? Like women, like a mom blogger or something, because I get those sometimes.
I do. Personally I do. They might be doing kind of what we do where like they'll follow you and then if you're not active or whatever, they'll unfollow you, but Captivate will do that for you. So Captivate will work on who to unfollow. So the first thing about unfollowing, if you are scrolling through your posts or through your Instagram feed and you see someone like, oh, they're posting about drugs or drinking or anything that you don't like, you don't want in your business, just unfollow them. Don't be like, oh, well, maybe they might want to buy something. That's not making them unfollow you. It's just you don't want to see that. If they're super negative, if they're posting naked pictures, whatever, unfollow them. If you see them post about another business, unfollow them. They can still follow you. Just you don't want you kind of want to unfollow anyone that you don't see potential with. So like if you see someone that just you don't think you'd get along with, because in this business you can pick who you work with. Like if you look at them and you're like, we wouldn't work together. Like it just wouldn't work. Just unfollow them. Just don't waste your time. Other than that, on unfollowing, going back into the Captivate app. Okay. At the bottom tab, so there's Discover, Search, Following, Settings. You can go to Following. It'll load all of the people that you're following. Up here you can click List. And then you can go down and click Load All Users. Okay, so it's going to load, make sure that everyone loaded, like all of your followers, okay? Every day, I do unfollowing at night while I'm sleeping. You go to Quick Select, and then Advanced Quick Select, and then do you see up top where it says Select Non-Followers? You click that, it'll select everyone that's not following you. At night, this is where you do the night mode too, so I guess I can show you that. You go back to settings. Up here, it'll say pending night mode. Click that, and it'll just kind of start, it'll like follow or unfollow someone, it'll do an action every 60 seconds. So it mimics like an actual person, but it'll just keep going all night until it's done. So that's what I do at night. And then once a month, usually the last day of the month, I will go to following, like load all the lists again, and then I'll quick select, advanced quick select, and then do you see where it says select ghost followers? You'll do that. And what that's going to do, that's going to select anyone. I have mine preset for 90 days. It's going to select anyone that didn't like or comment on any of your posts in the past 90 days. So you want to make sure, so like see here, I have a crap ton of people that I need to unfollow. Like mine is like 500 something. So I do that once a month because when I'm getting new people on, like I don't want to just unfollow them right away if they haven't reacted. So that's what I do there. As far as what times you want to follow people, what times you want to unfollow people. Yes, Lindsay, go ahead.
Okay, so I know you do that ghost followers thing, but like how often, like say you follow people today and they don't follow you back, like how long do you wait to unfollow them?
That day.
That same day you followed them, you give them like not even like 24 hours? Okay.
That's just me personally. The way I look at it, like people that I'm going to want in this business are people that are on their phone daily. If they go to Instagram, chances are if they see that you're following them and they don't follow you back right away, they're not going to go back and be like, oh, I didn't follow her. I should go back and follow her. They're going to follow you back instantly. And if they're not on Instagram every day, Lindsay, you're fine. If they're not on Instagram every day, like I just kind of unfollow them. And then if they follow me back later, I will follow them back. But as far as when to follow and unfollow people, it's all personal, what works best for you. So I personally, it's the first thing I do in the morning when I get to my work, when I get to my day job for now. I will go through and select at least 100 people and start following them. So it'll take 2 hours to follow 100 people, and then I will let them sit or whatever, and then I'll unfollow at night while I'm sleeping. So that's the way I find that it works for me, because if I do it right in the morning, chances are they're going to check their phone sometime in the day. Okay? And because they unfollow at night, we're good. The other thing, I just lost my train of thought. With following and unfollowing. I'm not sure. It'll come back to me. So weird. The next thing I wanted to talk about, back to Captivate settings. So there's a lot of settings that you can pick through. The ones that I personally use the most, I actually have my maximum batch actions right here at 40, just because I do not want in any way Instagram to be flagged by me. I don't want them to go look into my account and be like, oh, she does something. Like, I just don't want to deal with that. So you can pick 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or custom value. I personally recommend 40, but you can do 50. It'll automatically come at 50. And then I personally, another thing, so the follow filters. Oh, come on. There. Okay. It says hide users already followed, hide users that follow you, hide users or hide private profiles. I personally will hide a private profile because I feel that if someone was open to random people following them, their page would be public. That's just the way I look at it. Totally, again, personal decision. I did used to hide users that already followed me, but I had an issue with unfollowing and things like that. So I don't do that anymore. And then, again, in the settings in others, in quick select, you can go to select inactive users. And that's where you can pick 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, or custom value. I do 90 days. And just a personal thing, turn off, like where it says play sound effects, turn that off. It's really annoying. Every time you click on a picture to follow, it like makes this really obnoxious, loud noise. So that's personally what I turn off. Does anyone have any questions about following and unfollowing so far? Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, I was just wondering, do you do a public or private profile yourself?
Mine's public.
Okay, so is mine. I feel like I go back and forth, and I like it better when it's public. I feel like.
I found, so I kind of did like a test. I did a week private, a week public, and I did everyone from the same. So like a certain person on YouTube that I follow people from, but she does fitness stuff. I followed all from her stuff. For a week, I followed people when I was on private, and then the next week I did it when I was on public, and I got like triple the amount of followers when I was on public. So that's just what worked best for me. But yeah.
Well, I feel the same way, but I know some people like that, you know, kind of do well at Instagram too. Like they do private, but I think it's just like a personal preference.
It kind of is. I mean,
but
there are some people that are really iffy about letting theirs be public for the more so for the purpose of other works distributors, because when people comment on it, and like if I didn't see it right away, some different it works distributor could go and message them. So I guess like I personally just trust people more. I guess I don't know. Like I don't know. That's just my personal thing that I keep mine public. So when you do public, you can post hashtag more people will see your profile if they search that hashtag. Yes, that is true. You can post hashtags, and then if people search that hashtag, they can see your posts. I personally don't use any hashtags. I think they look messy. That's just me. I like mine like to be really clean and like organized. But you can totally.
well, I do hashtags because my little sister, like, she's like, I don't know, she gets like on Instagram and she like gets so many likes and followers. I'm like, how do you get all these things? And she's like, I do hashtags.
Yeah.
So I started hashtags, but I mean, I get really like, I don't know, I feel like it looks fine. Like I'm really just doing it, I feel like, for the purpose of like just gaining more followers. And then once I'll get to a point where, you know, I'm comfortable.
Hashtags. I haven't found more followers. Make sure though, if you are going to do hashtags, make sure they make sense. Because I know there are people that do just like literally everything under the sun. Like it'll be like a fall post and it'll be like hashtag summer, hashtag bikini, hashtag beach, and it's like, what are you doing? So I kind of go back and forth on the hashtags. Right now I'm in a mode where I don't like them, but I did use them before.
And I do though. I mean, I do them, but like you said, I try to make them relevant. Or like if I do something to me and my kids, I'll be like hashtag mom, hashtag like mom life, hashtag free.
Yeah, sometimes I will. Like if I think it's something that like I think a lot of people would search that hashtag that would make sense to that, like maybe I would, but I'm not one to do a bunch of.
All right, I'll shut up now. I guess I shouldn't be adding my 2 cents until I'm doing my own Instagram training.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Next thing about what to post, you want to make sure your posts are like. You can see my profile. Come on, lighting. So I do all white and black quotes, so it looks organized. I got that from Ashley Blome. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right, but you want to make sure like your face is in there and it's not super like it worksy. Okay, see, this is where I wasn't doing the quotes, and to me that just looks messier. But you can kind of see my life. Like obviously, I love coffee. My boyfriend's in every picture of the world. I like motivational quotes. Like I work out. I do beauty things like that. So like you don't like so many pictures on here are related to It Works, but you don't want them to see like a bunch of before and afters, a bunch of things like that. So like literally so many of these are to do with It Works, but the picture itself shouldn't look that It Worksy. And if it does have It Works in it, like this one has It Works, but it still looks cute. Like it looks like a legit picture, not like one from Google or anything like that. I personally don't find success with posting before and afters. That's just me. They don't work well for me. If you do, I highly suggest that you put it up and delete it in the same day. You don't want to put it up and keep it up forever. Also, there's nothing wrong with going back in your Instagram and deleting things from before. So like me personally, when I first started with It Works, it was thousands of before and after pictures, and it just looked a hot mess. People are on Instagram to like know you, not before and afters. They don't want to be bombarded with that. So find something that works for you to make your profile look neat. I really, really like the white and black quotes. If you want to do that, go ahead. If it's a selfie, if it's a picture of your dog that you keep in order, just try to do something that makes it look neat. If you want to like focus all on a color scheme, like you can do like fall color schemes and like just focus on pictures that are like black, white, gray, and orange, or red, or fall colors, anything like that, just so that when you go to your profile, it looks appealing. It doesn't look obnoxious and messy. Does that make sense? Yes, okay. That's kind of, oh, the next thing I wanted to talk about is editing pictures, okay? Editing pictures is kind of scary, and people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. I personally use all white borders because I like the way it looks. That's me. I like the color white. I think it looks clean. But I have a crap ton of photo apps. This one up here, I'll go through them all. This one up here is InstaSize. That way, I can show you how to work them all. You know, they'll load, looks like this. You click on a picture, or you can upload one using this little plus sign down here. Where is it? Well, no, it's not there. And then once it's selected, you click that, little bars. There are filters, things. I don't use this for anything except for that little yellow button right there. It's what puts the white border on it. So you can see that's how it is. You put that on, you can move it around. Cool. So that's InstaSize. And I can make a comment with all the apps that I use, if that would help. The next one is VSCO. Right there. This one I believe you have to pay for. I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly. This one is a little bit more difficult to work with. Not super intense. But you'll click on a picture. Let me just pick a random picture. Well, this is a picture I just took of myself, so I'll kind of edit it while I'm in here with you. So you select the picture, and it kind of looks the same, these little bars. Now, down here, there are a bunch of filters, and it's more like the color of the picture. So there's like black and white. There are like blue toned ones. My favorite are P5 and T1, I believe. Yeah. So these two, I like the blue, like cool tone. So what it'll be, click on it, you double click it again, and then I wish you guys could like see me. Okay. So, and then it'll take it off and put it back on. So you can just mess with that, kind of see what you like best as far as that, and save your picture that way. The next one is Facetune. This one, it comes free, but you can pay for upgrades. This one, you can like whiten your teeth, you can smooth out things, you can patch things, but that's, you have to pay for. What else are things? You can sharpen it, you can fix shadows, you can fix tones. Facetune is like intense, like picking what you want to edit, kind of like Photoshop, but an app. The next one that I use all the time, literally my favorite, is PicTapGo. I believe you have to pay for it. It's like $1.99. It's wonderful. Click on a picture, click edit, and then you go down and there are a bunch of filters, and it'll like give you previews of how they look. What mine, like if I don't really feel like editing anything, I have like a system. You'll scroll down. The first one I use is Faux Fi. And again, you can pick how much or little of it. So like I just kind of do somewhere in the middle. And then to go, like to add another filter on, you just kind of scroll like that. The next one I do is Cool It Down. And that's where it gives the blue tones that I like. I do the same thing, more or less. And then the next one I use is Highlights. This one kind of, when you use Faux Fi, it kind of like brightens everything up and you don't see all like the little like darknesses. So this just gives it back. Let me see if, okay. Do you see the difference? You can press and hold, like how it just gives more shape to your face. And then the last one that I use is Crispity. And that just makes it super crisp. So those are like my go-tos.
Um,
Editing. Yeah.
I would say I use Pictap Go all the time, but one of my favorite ones that I use like all the time, and I feel like it's similar to Facetune, is Insta Beauty.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
Oh my gosh. I use that one first, and because you can like soften it so it like kind of like makes everything look really clean, and then you can also get rid of blemishes, and then you can do like slim face, and like I always like to slim my nose, but and then so I do that one first, and then but it has other things. You can whiten your teeth, you can do like all kinds of
it's
but then
similar to Facetune.
yeah, but I like that one, and then I do like Pick Tap Go like you do. So
Yeah,
but that was
so like if you don't want to have to go to InstaSize to put the border back, you can go to Go, and then this right here, I don't know what it says, IG Square Float, you click it, and then I don't know, you copy to Instagram, and it'll automatically take you to Instagram and put the white like filter around it. So there's that. Let me see what other apps. Layout. That's gonna give you like the collage. Boomerang, that's where you use the video where like you go like back and forth, you know what I'm saying? You've all seen it. Okay, cool. Typic. Right there. I believe you have to pay for that. That's where you add fonts. Fonto, I use that for like if you take a picture and then you want to put like an email that you got paid or whatever on that, which is what I'm going to do later. You can, I will show you actually. So once you open Fonto, you will click down here, this little camera button, and then you'll go to photo albums. You'll pick the picture that you want, and then you will click done, unless you want to look at the filters they have. And then it's loading. And then down here, you'll click these little 3 lines, and you'll do add image. And then, so like I have this one saved, and you can do little, like you can make it into a circle. Do that, change the size of it. You can make it into a diamond, like a bunch of different things, a star, whatever. I just always keep mine normal. That's just what I do. And then you just click done. And then it'll kind of pop up on here. You can move it around. And if you want to do different, like you can click size. And then like you can just do the size. You can do the width. You can do the height, whatever. You can do tilt. And that will do that. You can do move, and they're little like arrows so that if you just want to move it like really slightly, it'll do it that way because sometimes it's hard. Alpha, that's what's going to make it see-through or not. So like if you want it see-through like that, let me see if I can make it bigger. So right there, make it fully big, transparent. So that's what that is. So that's what I use Fonto for. Word swag is the one that like everyone uses. I'm sure you've heard of it. That's just text. Slow fast, I don't use that one as much. That is if I take a video and I want it to like, you can make it slower at some part of the video and then really fast at another and then slow it down again. And that's kind of what hyperlapse is too. So those are the apps that I use. Let me see if there's anything.
I use the PixArt to do like add the picture like on it how
okay. Yeah, I know there's an app called Over that works too. There's a bunch of them, but that's just one I personally use, and there are other apps on there too. That is one more thing. That Lindsay, was the question you asked earlier about like interacting and how to get more likes. The hashtags can work for getting more likes. My biggest tip on how to get more likes and more people to follow you is to post quality pictures that are fun to look at. Like a picture that, the best thing I do is like, think of if you were scrolling through Instagram, is there a picture that would like, like when you just casually scroll and you're like, okay, whatever. think of a picture that like is gonna make you stop and be like, oh, that's pretty, and then you like it. Like, try to post pictures that are if you saw it, it would stop you and you would like it. Selfies are really good. You always get the most likes on selfies. For me, motivational quotes work really well. But the things you want to post about like fashion, fun, freedom, food, whatever. And interacting, it is important to interact. The more that they interact on your like posts, the more they'll see them. The more that other people interact on your posts, the more anybody wants to see them. So like, it's kind of like Facebook where, you know, like if someone were to comment on something from 5 days ago and then all of a sudden it'll pop up and more people will like it because someone did that. That's the same with Instagram. So like here, perfect example. This picture from this girl, you can't really see it. This was posted 5 hours ago. Scroll down. This was posted 6 days ago. So not by just like it used to be where it was just like newest was at the top. It's not like that anymore. The more interactions, the more comments, the most recent things, it'll get boosted up. Interacting, the way that I personally do it, if I'm just like when I'm watching TV or whatever I'm doing, you can just go to this little heart and it'll show you people that, so I got all the likes. Okay, so like this one, this person recently started following me. So in that, you can see people that recently started following you. I try to interact with people that recently started following me. I go and like a couple pictures, whatever. If you if you look at their post and you're like, oh my god, like they would look so good, make sure to interact. And you can also, a little trick, you can go to their page. You can click a little 3 buttons at the top. And then you can click turn on post notifications so that when they post, it'll notify you that like blah, blah, blah posted. Go look at their thing, go comment it. That makes sense? So like it's kind of like the friends list where you can do like close friends, whatever, see first on Facebook. The other thing that's really easy to interact on, when you're on your homepage of Instagram, up top, these are stories. People that like recently posted things. It's super easy if you click on one, whatever. So like this says, only good thing about this hospital is I stay in my own clothes. So like what I would do on the bottom, you can see like send a message. I personally would just like write like, oh my god, hope you're okay, and then you can click send, and it'll send them a picture of what they posted on their story and then your message. So it's not like you're just messaging them and they're like talking about, but I do it all the time. Like if someone posts like a selfie and I'm like, oh my god, I love that lip color, what is it? Because then you're in their inbox. So then later on, if you like they like something, like, hey girl, hope you're good, whatever, tried that lipstick, love it, I saw you commented on my post about blah blah blah, go from there, so that you look more familiar. Like you liking and commenting is good, and they remember you depending on how much you do it, but if you're in their inbox, when you message them again, they're automatically going to feel more comfortable because they had talked to you before. So I do the interacting on the story all the time. It's wonderful. Another thing is interacting. It's not fun. It's kind of just like interacting with Facebook. Think of it, I watched a video, oh gosh, I don't know what it was, but a like on Instagram is like a high five and a comment is like a hug. Like, even think of like on yours, like people like it and you're like, yeah, they like my post. Think about it, but if they comment, you go and you're like, oh my god, like who are they? And they go look at your profile. So if you're commenting, they're gonna go look at your profile and they're gonna see that you are looking for $25 weight loss challenge. They're gonna be like, oh my god, what? Like I don't know who you are, but that sounds fun. And just things like that. Like you want them to go back to your post. If you or go back to your page, if you like it, they probably won't. If you comment and like the name doesn't sound familiar, then they will. And the more you comment, the more they're gonna recognize who you are. The more you're gonna feel like they're friends. Like there are people on Instagram that are like genuinely feel like are one of my best friends, like genuine, and that's just from interacting and talking to them, things like that. So that is kind
Oh, I was just gonna ask, is there like a good like a number of people like you try to interact with every day on Instagram?
No, I don't necessarily do like a certain number. I usually do like a half hour, But be careful with messaging through your stories. They'll block you from messaging them and just be like, you use this feature incorrectly or whatever, and it'll block you. So I usually do about like 10 stories, and then I'll just go through and do like the last 10 people that followed me. If I'm not busy, whenever someone follows me, I'll go through and like look at little pictures or comment or whatever. So I try to keep track of it like as time goes on.
Is there any other ways to interact with people other than the stories or doing your 10 most recent like followers? Like, do you ever like just go through like your news feed kind of like thing, and you know,
you can kind of do whatever you feel like. You can go through your news feed. Me personally, like, I'm following a lot of people that like I would never get to the like everyone that way. You can go to people that recently liked a picture of you or liked a picture on your whatever, and go interact that way. You kind of just got to figure out what works best for you, if that makes sense.
Okay. Sorry, I'm like super remedial, but I'm like trying to be good at this.
No, you're good. So that's kind of everything I like wanted to touch on, but I told Lindsay before, I don't really have a time constraint. So if anyone has questions, pop them in the group chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Yeah, I'm just gonna need you on my Instagram and tell me what you think I need to do. No, I'm just kidding. I did have another question. Does it matter if you share like your Instagram post to Facebook? Like, does that affect like the way it's seen? You know what I mean? Like, because
it doesn't affect it on Instagram, I don't believe, but it won't be seen very well on Facebook. It's kind of like when you use Buffer. So Buffer is not really like what we're talking about, but if you think of it like, unless you're doing a business, why would you set up a robot to make posts for you? You know what I'm saying? So like Facebook catches that and they're like, oh, I'm not going to show that. So I don't like Buffer personally.
Okay. So if you like, because one time I heard that because like Facebook bought Instagram, right. so like I heard, and they said like even using the same like post, like even or picture, like Facebook will pick up on it that you used it on Instagram too.
That I don't know about, but I mean it could be. But I mean, I always do like I literally just copy paste from one to the other, and I've never had issues with either.
So you don't. Okay, so instead of like sharing it to Facebook, you just copy paste.
I never do that because Facebook won't show it.
Right. Okay. Because I was always curious about that.
It's more because it's kind of the same thing. Like you're just posting it because it's an easy option, and you're not like posting it to actually post it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, it takes like 2 seconds to just copy and paste what you're working. I do switch up wording a little bit when I use Instagram versus Facebook. Facebook, I just do like comment below or whatever. I do that on Instagram, but then I also do or like text me at blah blah blah, or like text who to whatever my number, because I feel people are more comfortable with that, because for some whatever reason it kind of is like that with Facebook too. They don't want other people to see they commented, if that makes sense. So like they feel comfortable texting you. So I usually do like private message me or text blah 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 to my number for more information. So that's what I do for Instagram. Any other questions? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I like. I
have another question. I thought
if you like in your heart or whatever, you see that someone liked a bunch of your pictures, this person specifically just liked 7 of my pictures. If someone's doing that, make sure you go back and do the same for you. And then you can message them and be like, hey girl, thanks for all the love. I feel like I just liked all of your pictures. Oh wow, they're so cute. And then it'll just start a conversation. Like clearly she knows she just liked 1 billion of your pictures. So if you do the same back, then you have a reason to get in her inbox and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I totally just spammed you with likes. And they just think it's funny and they'll just talk to you. And then depending on how that goes, like if they're really like open and friendly, like I have a potential from doing that. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, like I feel like we're the same person with their post. And I was like, girl, you should be doing this with me. Like, hello, you can make money. You post all the time anyways. And she's like, what do you do? Like, I don't even get it. And now she's like a serious potential. So things like that, something like getting in your inbox. Instagram is a total different horse than Facebook. It just is. It's way more on the picture than on the words. But that's just how it works. But once you figure out Instagram, it's like super easy.
I can't think of anything.
Can't think of anything?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you can even hear me.
I went over everything good.
I've been writing notes since I got on. I was having trouble getting on at first.
Oh, really? Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I was wondering, do you, this is my question, like, do you think it's, like, more important, like, to have, like, you know, a catchy, like, picture versus, like, what it says? Like, people, like, probably look at the picture before they read, like.
You could have the best wording ever that, like, ambassadors swear by, and they're like, you're going to get so many distributors off this, but if your picture sucks, no one's going to read it.
So make sure you have a good picture first, and then, like.
Don't post any blurry pictures. Don't post any, like, if you can Google the picture and it's like in regards to Instagram, if you can Google it and it's everywhere, don't post it. I personally like pictures from Pinterest. I find that they're cuter, but kind of like go with a style. So like I use a lot of white and like kind of like the rustic whatever feel. That's just what I like. That's like legitimately my style. Like if you came to my apartment, that's what I like. So that's just, be true to you. Like don't, you're like, oh, like post a lot of this, so I'm going to do that too. But if that's not you, it's not going to work. So like me personally, I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. I have a boyfriend. I don't have dogs. Like I don't have a big house. I don't have a big yard. I don't whatever. But you can still find things to post about. So like I'll post about my morning coffee or a drive home or whatever. But yeah, don't like. I know when I started and everyone was posting about like, oh, I want to do this, be home with my kids. Like I was like, well, I don't have kids, so like I don't know what to post. But post about like, oh, I can't wait to be home with my future kids. I want to do this for my future, whatever. Just figure out how to work that way. And that's not really regarding Instagram, but I've been talking to a bunch of people about that. Yes.
I have one more question. I probably won't shut up. But how many times how many times or like how often is it good to like post on Instagram, do you think? Like you know how Facebook every few hours, like is Instagram the similar or?
At least, okay, so what I do, think of at least like when you're on your phone. So like me, I try to post one in the morning, at lunch, and when I'm laying in bed, because that's when people are scrolling their phone. Like it's just how it is. When they wake up, people wake up and they scroll their phone in bed. They scroll their phone in bed before they go to sleep, and they scroll their phone when they're eating. So I post at least 3 times a day. I try to aim for like 5 or 6, but I post at least 3 times.
On Instagram?
Yep, on Instagram. I do the same post on Facebook and Instagram. I always do at least one motivational quote. I do at least one opportunity, one product, and then one just like regular about my life. Like yesterday, it was help me decide what hair color. And it got a bunch of interactions, and I wasn't ready for it, but I got a bunch of them. But and I had actually a couple people from that like was like, oh my god, I went back to your page and I saw that you were doing this. I have someone that's signing up as a loyal customer tomorrow for that. So it's just like you don't know what's gonna happen. So like make sure that your posts aren't just it works either. Like make sure that it's about you just like look at my dinner, whatever. Like oh my god, look at this animal that I saw or whatever. Yeah, anything. Like, oh my god, I just got the cutest thing from the store. Check it out. Just whatever. Any other questions?
I'm excited. I got so many notes.
Do you feel like this was helpful?
I do.
Yes.
And I'm sure other people do as well. Yeah. And we can like post a recording, and I know there's tons of people that want to watch this. So
I know, my messages are blowing up. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm stuck in traffic." I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. No, this was good. I thought it was really helpful for me because I'm really trying to grow my Instagram, and I mean, I feel like I'm doing it, but I like didn't know these like little like these little things.
Yeah. They're just like random things that I've learned over the time. I mean, when I first started working my Instagram, it was back in like May, June. But I mean, at that point, I literally had like 300 followers. So like I went from 300 to 2,000 in a couple months. So
yeah.
I mean, it can
That's
grow
all.
fast, but you have to work at it. It's not just like where Facebook people will just like add you. Like you have to continually work at it. You can't go a day without posting because Instagram will shut you down. Like not shut you down, but your post won't be seen. Following and unfollowing, you have to be on that because people like, I don't know, like other than people that are in business, they're not going to go and just be like, I wonder who I can follow today. But like if you follow them, they're going to follow you back because people on Instagram don't care. Like, and especially if your profile is cute, so like follow people that make sense to your life. That makes sense. Kind of like Facebook. So like my rule of thumb is like, do they look like someone that I'd be friends with in real life? Yes, I'll add them. No, I'm not. But I do. It's worked out for me so far. Anything else, Lindsay?
Thanks. No, I think I answered all my questions.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Otherwise, I can go ahead and end the recording. No?
I can't think of anything else.
Okay. But I will stop the recording now.